Okay, so here we are trying again. Different approach, always trying with a different approach, working to see if it's a matter of how I show up, what we bring to the situation, how we respond at all times, and we get there, my friends. We get there. So for today's video, as I shuffle the cards, we're going to get into, there we go, the witness. The witness. Okay, and as I do that, I realize that the book is nowhere near me to read, so let's talk about this. The witness is in wheel 4. So there we go. Interesting. That actually works out. I like it. So, witness being wheel 4, so we're in the very beginning here when it comes to wheel 4. We're figuring out how to put sense and essence together within our thinking. We're still moved very much by our emotions, and we are finding ourselves privy to things, right? Hence witness. We are observing something coming to fruition. We are watching something happening maybe for the first time, or maybe it's with that first fresh perspective. But the point is that as we see things, does that make it real? Our witness, our validation, we have such a craving to be validated, right? Kind of like a throwback to Mad Max and the chrome spray, right? Like, witness my life, witness my presence, validate my thinking, be how do we say that? A bouncing board, be a back, you know what I mean? Like to really, a bouncing, someone to bounce off of, a backboard. Is that what it is in basketball? Anyway, had a moment there. But the idea is that what are you witnessing? Are you witnessing yourself? Are you witnessing changes? I mean, we just had this massive shift as we head towards this brand new moon, right? That's happening here in hours away. And there's this sense of it's a very Saturnian, Capricornian new moon, which is we're going to get it done. We understand the limits. We understand some of the hard things that we're going to have to deal with. And you know what's really interesting here? Is I'm reminded of a few of the different greetings or well wishes that were exchanged this week. And a lot of people, well, not a lot of people, but a few were saying, I hope next year is more fun than this year. And I'm like, I actually really enjoyed this year. I thought this year had some great highlights that I had not even experienced, never mind before, but ever. Okay, so my idea of next year being more fun is, okay, how do we make it more fun? Right, you're the one that's responsible for you having fun. Nobody's sitting there going, you can't have any fun. I mean, instant throwback to being a kid and making the worst situations as fun as possible, right? Because nobody can stop you from thinking and creating and transmuting. It's up to you to think, create, and transmute. And that is what all about this navigating reality thing. Okay? How do we move about reality? How do we propagate? How do we project our reality, right? Because that is what we are doing. That is how we move about our day. We say, okay, the likelihood of my day is going to be this, so you manifest this, and reality continues, right? Like, it is a probabilities game, not an experience game. And the context of, or the concept of being able to acknowledge that for yourself so that you can disengage, right? Decoupling is such an important or intrinsic aspect to the work. We decouple our emotions from the sensations, right? For those that suffer from chronic pain, this is a huge one. If I'm acting upset every time I'm having a bad day, well, I'm sorry, I'm never having a good day again, right? And that was exactly where a lot of this stuff started for me. I don't know about you, but pain is a great motivator. And so the sense of letting our pain motivate change, it doesn't happen right away, right? Because we still were raised by this idea that life is suffering. And so we're supposed to go with it. And if anything, it means we're alive. Well, I'm sorry, but that is not the experience we were destined for. What we decided to incarnate on this planet for, to go, hey, this time and like this time, this space, this is going to be really great to go and really immerse myself in the suffering. That is a hell of a world to live in, okay? Let me just say. So, how about we consider that we live in a universe that is like, we're going to give you everything that you ask for. And we're like, yeah, sure. And they're like, no, really. And you're like, okay, sure. And yet you're asking for all of this suffering and tribulation and trial and error. And you're like, okay, so wait, I'm supposed to be asking for better for myself? Oh, I can't do that. Did you see the shitty life I've been leading? Have you seen the crappy decisions I've been making? Right? Like, it's not this easy, hey, I'm going to wake up and change the life and change all my attitudes and my behaviors and my upbringing and my history. I wish. However, that being said, in a fairly few short years and relative to my life, I have been able to change history, change past, time travel, connect with spirit in a fabulous way, manifest a new destiny, not decide to, but evolve and transmute through various timelines to one of the best timelines I could possibly be in, if not the best. Because that's what we're after these days. Just saying. So, if I'm raising a few questions for you, great. Great. What I'm after here is curiosity and a little crazy lady at the beginning, because we got to bust through this one. Okay. I have to bust through the idea that I'm going to come across as a crazy lady. So I'm going to immerse myself in this whole experience. I'm going to let the words fly, because thankfully not too many people are watching just yet. So really going to have some fun with this. The whole point of navigating reality, my friends, is that we come together in order to be inspired, in order to be advised, right? Like, well, I'm not a doctor. I'm not saying, hey, here's the prescription, rip off the pad, go see a pharmacist. No, what I'm saying is, here's an experience, here's some stories, and I'll be sharing them in a way that you can go, okay, thanks, I'll avoid that mistake. Like, great, then we're winning, right? Ultimately, yes, gotta have a sense of humor, because life is tough at times. And if we aren't laughing, we can be crying. And it's the holidays, and we're just headed towards the 1st of January. So, all in all, here we are. Another segment of navigating reality, a little off the rails, but slowly getting towards where we want to go. I've got probably too many, if not so many, things that are going to be talked about, shared about. We're going to be talking about chronic pain. We're going to be talking about how to reduce suffering and pain in your life in a few different areas. Finances, health, emotions. We're going to talk about where you can get free or easy resources that are also fun and engaging and help you to move through your own ish at your own pace. We're going to talk about some incredible thought leaders. We're going to talk about some incredible medicines that you can help make for yourself in order to improve your quality of life. We're going to talk about it all, as much as possible, in ways that are going to be easily digestible. And I'm taking this opportunity here to speak with you on this and to share this story so that you get a sense of things as they come down the path, and also so that I can put out a consistent stream of energy. Yes, my friends, it's all about what we attract, and I am attracting my ideal viewer by talking about the fantastic future that lies before us. It's a beautiful place, my friends. Oh, I didn't even mention, we're going to talk about homesteading. We're going to talk about, being able to have embrace permaculture principles, some incredible research about some fantastic farming north of certain degrees where the temperature gets real cold. We're going to talk about that, because that I'm terribly passionate about. And this sense of how we can come to this way of life, way of being, not from a place of fear where we're like, okay, we got to batten the hatches and the world's economy is going to crash. Stuff is going to get wild. Don't get me wrong. But if we are actually pursuing a higher quality of life for ourselves and those around us, and being able to make sure that we have access to fresh fruits and vegetables no matter what, and good access to water and all of those fun things, it's going to get more interesting. And as we get older, we're going to leave the roots of our knowledge behind us, right? Because there's just going to be that distance, and the world's going to become less recognizable. So it's really to us to get curious, to learn, to get engaged, to maintain engagement and our commitment to growth and development so that we can make the most of this crazy, beautiful life. Okay? Now that was a rant. Oh my gosh. Sometimes we got to rip off the Band-Aid, my friends. And this was a heck of a Band-Aid. Okay. I'm going to see you next time. Maybe I'll make a little more sense. We'll see how it goes. But either way, thanks for coming along on the ride with me. Mwah.